Hello and welcome to Beyond Incredible. Let's dive into the most unbelievable incidents that have shaped the world. You won't want to miss the twists and turns that made 2024 truly unforgettable. Number 10. Ecuador TV attack. With a population of over 3 million, Guayaquil is the energetic center of Ecuador and is frequently referred to as the Pearl of the Pacific. The city is teeming with culture, business, and life. However, Guayaquil was engulfed in terror on the night of January 9, 2024, when a live television broadcast devolved into a terrifying nightmare that nobody could have predicted. It seemed like any other evening in the busy studio of a well-known TV station, until mayhem broke out. During a live broadcast, armed gunmen broke into the set, sending shockwaves through the airways. Presenters and producers, their faces white with terror, were thrown to the ground. José Luis Calderón, one of Ecuador's most well-known television personalities, was one of them. José Luis Calderón, a highly esteemed television personality in Ecuador, was one of them. As one of the attackers sarcastically exclaimed, "This is why we're here, so you can't mess with the mafia." The cameras continued to roll. The attackers pointed guns at the frightened employees and brandished hand grenades, their icy metal glistening in the studio lights. A gun was aimed at Calderón, who heroically attempted to maintain his composure despite being visibly scared. Only the assailants' demands and the silent tears of those compelled to the ground could break the deafening silence in the studio. Police descended on the scene outside the station, their sirens blaring through the darkness. 13 people were arrested after a tense standoff. The attackers' acts exposed the dark influence of organized crime in the area, and authorities later said that they would be charged with terrorism. Number 9. Cholera outbreak in Zambia. Life is lively and social in the center of Zambia. However, in October 2023, an unseen danger that would destroy families and put a whole country to the test infiltrated the busy districts of Matero and Kanyama in Lusaka. In Lusaka, the initial cholera cases appeared subtly, hardly detectable. However, the problem developed with horrifying speed as the weeks went by and the rains began to fall. Cholera had spread to 9 provinces by January 2024, killing 448 people and infecting over 11,300 more. The illness not only claimed lives, but also upended the routine of daily life for a large number of Zambians. Neighbors who used to congregate at communal wells suddenly lived in communities terrified of tainted water. In addition to overloaded facilities struggling to handle the rush of patients, parents watched helplessly as their children became ill. The unrelenting rains overwhelmed sanitation services and washed garbage into water sources. The outbreak was most severe in areas that were already struggling with inadequate infrastructure. One Matero resident said, "We had no choice but to use the water available," in a sorrowful tone. "We didn't know it was poison to us." Number 8. Historic all-female city council. St. Paul, Minnesota elected an all-female council for the first time in history. Minnesota became the oldest U.S. city to achieve this milestone. 7 women were included in this council. 6 were associated with different colors. The age of the women in the council was less than 40 years. The purpose of this council was to solve the problems of local people, such as provision of affordable housing and public safety. The formation of this council is a significant shift towards increased presentation and equality in local governors. It shows that transformative potential of 2347. Number 7. Massive flooding in Congo. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is a country in Central Africa, populated with 102.3 million people. Congo is facing its worst flood in 60 years. Mainly due to heavy rains, at least 300 deaths have occurred by January 2024. Including Kinshasa and South Kivu, almost 3 lakh families are affected in different provinces. Almost 95000 houses and 1325 schools were destroyed due to the landslide. Such a destruction further exacerbates existing humanitarian challenges. The government has declared a state of emergency in the country, and relief efforts are also ongoing. A project of $289 million has been started for this. International organizations are also mobilizing to help the victims. Number 6. Major mine collapse in Mali. Mali is one of the world's poorest countries and Africa's leading gold producers. It is also the home of industrial mines. Mali often faces mine collapsing tragedies. Recently, it experienced 2 falls, first in January 2024 and second in June 2024. This is how the January incident happened. In southern Mali, a tunnel collapsed in a gold mine and 70 people died under it. At that time, 200 people were working in mine. The collapse of the tunnel created a noise and the ground loosened. The cause of the fall is not clear, but according to the guess, miners dug the low-standard galleries. Around June 2024, in South Mali, 22 workers were killed when a shaft collapsed in a gold mine. While working, the miners entered the mine illegally and dug the tunnels, which later collapsed. In southern Africa, mining is more dangerous because testicle methods are used there. Workers used old traditional and non-systematic methods. Release of toxic and exclusive gases, coming of downpour, mechanical faults and dust explosions, etc., also included in the causes of mining accidents. Number 5. AI development surge. Surge AI was founded in 2020, and Edwin Chen is the CEO and founder of Surge AI. Its headquarters is located 2193 Fillmore Street, San Francisco. Surge AI provides high-quality data labeling at extremely high speed. Surge AI is the world's first software that collects third-party data from the entire internet and converts it into actionable content. In 2024, the development of AI will definitely increase. It is expected to exceed $300 billion in global investment. This growth is due to advances in machine learning and natural language processing. Besides that, enterprise adoption in the healthcare, retails, and finance factors has expanded investment. Look at the condition of AI in 2024. 4 clear themes emerge, including important challenges, exclusive growth, and changing talent dynamics. Number 4. IT outages. A worldwide digital outage that struck in July 2024 rocked industry and everyday life. A system update for millions of Microsoft Windows devices was the innocent beginning. However, this update wasn't like the others. What ought to have been a normal incident became a worldwide emergency, affecting 8.5 million devices and leaving countless people to deal with the consequences. Chilling was the source of the problem. After breaking into the system, hackers released a rogue update that caused device crashes all across the world. The outcome? A worldwide tech failure that interrupted vital services, businesses, and people's lives. Without complete access to digital systems, hospitals had to scramble to continue life-saving surgeries. It was a day of missed earnings for small enterprises, which many could not afford. Although the estimated financial cost was $1 billion, it was more difficult to quantify the personal cost. Flights to see loved ones were missed by families. Patients had to wait longer to receive care. Businesses briefly stopped down, and workers struggled. It wasn't just about the technology, a New York retail manager stated. It was about how much we depend on it to keep everything running. The 2024 IT outage was more than simply a technical glitch. It served as a reminder of how pervasive technology is in our daily lives and how important it is to safeguard the systems we depend on. Millions of people were left wondering, are we ready for the next digital catastrophe? Number 3. Gabriel Attal's appointment. With a historic political event that captivated the world in 2024, France began a new chapter in its history. President Emmanuel Macron made Gabriel Attal the youngest prime minister in history when he selected him at the age of 34. His appointment was even more noteworthy, though, because he was the country's first out gay leader, a distinction that had a profound impact on people all across the world. Attal's rise to prominence was influenced by more than just his innovative identity or his youth. It has to do with his indisputable bond with the French. Attal, who was well known for his vigor, eloquence, and forward-thinking outlook, had already gained popularity in France as a progressive and personable politician. His ascent to power was largely hailed as a sign of a France that was ready to embrace diversity and take bold steps forward. But there are obstacles in the way of progress. Attal, the youngest leader in French history, must strike a balance between his audacious vision and the demands of a country that looks to him to bring about change. Debates have also been triggered by his selection. Some have questioned if his identity and age could overshadow his leadership skills. Number 2. Gaza humanitarian crisis. Life in Gaza has always been difficult, but in October 2023, the Israeli-Hamas confrontation reached a devastating level that rocked the world. For the locals, the crisis is a daily struggle for survival rather than a news story. Families that used to get together for meals in their homes are now uprooted, their lives destroyed by unrelenting violence. 75% of Palestinians are homeless, and over 38,000 have died. Amal, a mother of 3, now views home as a makeshift shelter full of strangers, where her kids sleep on chilly floors as she worries about where they will get their next meal. A clear reminder of the price of war and the pressing need for peace is provided by the Gaza catastrophe. It is not merely a statistical tale. It is a tale of individuals, of lives questioned and aspirations postponed, but also of an unbreakable spirit. Number 1. Historic moon landing. Humanity accomplished 2 historic firsts in lunar exploration in 2024. The private American company's Odysseus spacecraft made a successful landing close to the moon's south pole on February 22nd. It was the first American trip to the lunar surface in more than half a century and the first commercial moon landing. NASA later in the year got ready for the Artemis II mission, a crewed journey aimed at laying the groundwork for a human return to the moon in November. There were difficulties with the Odysseus expedition. During its descent, a vital piece of technology failed, forcing engineers to quickly switch to NASA's backup guidance system. The spacecraft made a successful landing in spite of the enormous stakes, demonstrating the team's tenacity and will. This accomplishment opened new avenues for research and business endeavors on the moon and demonstrated the expanding involvement of private enterprises in space exploration. The next phase of lunar exploration is represented by NASA's Artemis II mission. In order to prepare for a projected return to the lunar surface by 2026, the mission, which will have a crew of 4 astronauts, will test cutting-edge technology and capabilities.